Hey guys, welcome back to Boss Fan TV. And today we're doing the match preview for our game against Drogheda tomorrow evening at Daily Mill Park. A pretty nothing game of football against UCD. Let's be honest. We got the win in the end, 1-0 win, goal from James Clark. But yeah, it wasn't a great game. I was watching it. I just kind of thought there's a lot of things I could be doing right now. That's well worth me doing better than this. But hey, we got the win in the end, and that's two on the spin now. Albeit they're against the two bottom clubs, but hey, we'll take the wins, even if they don't mean much. But we have the chance now to make that three. We're against the third bottom side in Drogheda, who I think like us are just kind of hoping. They're just wanting to get the season over and done with now. I suppose they're just kind of looking towards maybe the off season and next season, and I think that's the same with us. I know Pats haven't been too great recently. They've had a couple of dodgy results over the past couple of weeks, but I think it's still quite unlikely we're going to tip them to fourth unless we win every single one of the games that are left, which I don't think we're going to do. And I do probably fancy Pats to get a result against Dundalk as well tomorrow. So yeah, I don't see it personally, but hey, it's our own fault really. We got ourselves in this position, where we've nothing to play for. We're not fighting for Europe, and yeah, it's just must be in poor for the majority of the season. But yeah, I think this one will be a tight enough game. Drogheda do have the players that can hurt you. Don't get me wrong, but I think we made a decent account of ourselves against CFCD. I know people are kind of saying it was boring and that, which it was, let's be honest. But I don't think the performance was awful. A couple of good individual performances. Twardek, I thought was very very good. He was working hard. He was running up and down the wing. He was flying at the tackles. We can always expect that from Twardek. He might be the best technically, and we've seen that. Um, We've seen that in his two spells, really. Maybe even in the first spell, he was quite good technically, but he was never really that player who has had a lot in his locker. Really, he was very much not one. I'm not gonna say a one-trick pony, but he always had the same kind of skills. He was fast. He could get a decent ball in the box, and I think that's just the kind of player he is. He works hard. We got to give him credit for that. But I thought Hilton and Burr did quite well when they came off the bench as well. They added a little bit more quality to the attacking third. Um, Clark was good again. He's been a brilliant signing since he's come in from Drogheda. I'm sure he'll be up for tomorrow's game as well. Playing against his former club. But yeah, I think it'll be tight enough. I do fancy it though with us being at home. I think we may just about need to get 1-0. Of course, I'd love to go for a bigger scoreline, but I don't expect it to be an amazing game. Two teams that aren't really focusing too much on the league, and are just kind of focusing more on next season and what they can do in the off season. But I'm gonna go through my predicted team now. I think Ty Groyan will be in goal. I think it'll be back four of Doherty, Kelly, Feely, and Wilson. I think it'll be a midfield two of Flores, Clark, and then we'll have Burr on the left, Twardek on the right, Adi Cute as number 10, and Varian as a striker. I think that's a good enough team. I think that team's more than capable of going out and getting a good result against a team like Drogheda, who've lost the last four, but we can't be so sure really. We've seen this kind of stuff before, but yeah, I think it'll be a 1-0 win. I'm gonna back us here. We haven't got much to play for, might as well. Just to kind of smoothing over pretty poor season we've had. But a bit of news. We've had news in the last sort of half an hour about the managerial situation. Just want to touch on this before the end of the video. There was it came out in the Derry Journal or something like that. It was backed up by Daniel MacDonald in the Independent. A couple of days ago that Alan Reynolds, Derry assistant manager, obviously he managed Waterford as well. I think he managed a couple of other clubs. He was the assistant with the Ireland under 21s as well as Shells and a few other clubs. But he was approached about. I don't think he was actually offered it, but he was sort of promoted for it anyway. It was his if he wanted it. But he decided not to. He wanted to stay in Derry, but there was lots of names thrown about. Richard Dunn, interestingly, he was mentioned. Obviously, think he's kind of out of the race now. I think he dropped out last week. Sean O'Shea, Vinnie Pert, Ian Ryan, a few other names were thrown in the hat as well. But I think from reports this evening, it looks like Ian Ryan is in pole position to get the job, and I do have my reservations about this, to be honest. Listen, I'll back the man if he gets the job. I'll back him all the way. But I think he's done a pretty all right job at Wexford. They're sixth in the first division. Some people might look at that and think, well, that's not amazing, is it? But I think overall, Wexford are a team that probably will. We're always kind of near the bottom, and I think he's done quite well with them. I looked at their record, and listen, I'd be lying to you if I said I've watched many Wexford games this season. I haven't watched one, but Wexford fans seem to really rate him. He's well respected around the league, and I had heard of him. I had seen a lot of people mention him, that he's doing a good job at Wexford. He's a young enough manager. He's only 35. It's a big risk. I felt like we maybe should have gone for someone with a bit more experience. It would have stayed well clear of the likes of Vinnie Pert, Liam Buckley. Those kind of managers he would say would have the experience. It stayed well clear of them. We just don't rate them personally, as managers and as people as well. To be honest, um, but listen, if it is to be Ian Ryan, which it's looking likely, I'll back him. But again, it is a risk. But we said this about Keith Long, though. Back in 2014, people said this about Keith Long, that why be bringing in a manager from Athlone Town, hasn't really done anything. He's only new to management, and we should be doing better. But look what he built. Could we see the same with Ian Ryan? I thought maybe the club could have gone in a different direction. Maybe someone with a bit more experience, someone who can galvanise the dressing room. But obviously, listen, I don't think Ian Ryan was the first choice. I think it could have been someone like Alan Reynolds, or it could have been someone else who we haven't heard of, that maybe they approached and they turned it down. But listen, if it is to be an Ian Ryan, I'll back him all the way, but it is a big risk. That's where I'm going to end the video. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment down below your score predictions, thoughts heading into tomorrow's game against Drogheda, thoughts about Ian Ryan potentially becoming a new manager, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.